So here we go. See, now I've switched over, and now we're officially live. Hello world. Don't mind. Oh, you can't even hardly see it, but this is a candy cane water. My grandmother-in-law bought me a giant water with candy canes on it for Christmas, and I went, "Can I use that year-round?" And I went, "Yes, I can."
Why not?
Yes, I can. I don't even like candy canes. But it's so cute.
But Christmas in July.
It's Christmas in July, yeah. And the things is it gets small, so you can stick it in your car.
Genius.
Mm-hmm.
She's thinking.
They thought with their big brain when they made that. So, welcome everybody. For those that are rewatching or watching with us live, my name is Jocelyn. I am the president of the Business Readiness Program, and today I'm super excited because I have a very important public official with us today.
Oh, where? Someone else come in.
So, as we start businesses, we start talking about things that like, oh, we wish we'd have done, or I wish we would have known. One of the best people for you to know what's going on in your area and things is your elected officials. Some are very friendly, some are not. Anne happens to be very friendly, and she's here to chat with us about, well, a little bit of everything. So, if you want to introduce yourself, Anne.
How delightful. Well, yeah, you remind me, I got to travel, I think, maybe last year, and I had a campaign sticker, Ann Rowe for Assembly or Ann Rowe for Wisconsin on my water bottle.
Smart.
And so we're traveling, and we were in Scotland, and the young man who was leading the tour was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never had anyone important and famous on my tour." And I looked at him, and he was so nice, and I looked at him, and I said, "You still haven't. So
keep trying."
But he was just fascinated with all things politics, and very carefully wanted to talk about things, and I was just fascinated. And I, if you'd asked me, say 40 years ago, would I be doing this? Probably not on my list of things.
Not high on the list of things, yeah.
But I think so. I'm Ann Rowe. I've lived in Janesville for over 30 years. My husband is a pediatrician in town. We moved here most directly from the East Coast, but we're both Midwesterners. So he's a Wisconsin guy, Green Bay Packer guy.
Keep talking.
I am a Chicago girl, so Cubs and Bears.
She said it, folks. She said it.
But there we are. So the way I like to look at that is that I understand optimism because I am an optimist, and
because the Cubbies don't be doing very well except for that one time.
It was in my lifetime, so that's all we can hope for. But when we moved to Janesville, it was a bit of a switch for me, kind of a big city person. But I was lucky enough to get to teach at UW-Whitewater in the College of Business and Economics for over 27 years. I taught marketing, and that was serendipitous in the sense that I had gotten a random email or a random message from somebody I'd never met before about, "Hey, any chance you want to teach?" And I thought it was completely made up because I had literally just said to my husband the night before, if I could do anything, I would teach college, but I don't want to go get a PhD. And then there was this message. So I accused him of making it up.
You said, "Nice troll."
Wow. I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
And it turns out it was a real person.
Oh, that's funny.
And so then I got to teach, and that just opened up this whole universe of service and of working with a variety of students, young and old, and other faculty, learning from everybody, and realizing that, sometimes kids were there because they chose it, they moved directly towards it. But a lot of times kids were there because they didn't know what else to do, or so-and-so had gone, so they thought they should, and they really never looked at what their choices might have been. That was the impetus for the small business. So, which really revolved around helping students maximize their high school experiences, and then figuring out what tools they need to make sure they have, so that they had choices.
That's very smart.
We all know that whether it's a job or an opportunity of some sort or school, if you get to choose it, you will stick with it in in a better way and
Yes.
maybe even be happier as a result. If you feel like you got backed into something or you didn't have options, doesn't make for a great fit all the time. Sometimes.
And also to add to that, you don't enjoy it.
You don't enjoy it. And the best advice, my favorite advice to give to students as they applied or as they sought apprenticeships or helped a young person pursue Coast Guard or another young man pursue the Army.
Yeah.
So whatever that was going to be, at the end of the day, I didn't really care what you chose, but my advice to them is go where you're loved.
There we go.
So sometimes it's not exactly where you thought you were going to be, but they show up for you, and that's
your new that's your found. What is it called? Found family. Found family.
Yep, that's where you need to be. And if we could make sure that kids got the maximum number of tools and experiences within their high school experience, and they came out and they had, nice test scores, they had practical experience, they had great classes. Now they can choose their direction. Because whatever they chose, they were going to need those tools regardless. And what I didn't want to see is I was seeing kids get slotted and saying, oh, well, Johnny seems bored. He doesn't need to take the ACT, or he didn't need to do that. Well, we know that young men and young women are different. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, fun facts.
Turns out, and everybody has their own
path,
epiphany, and their own time of self-realization. And so let's not slot somebody until we make sure they have all their options open.
I like that. No, that's what I was told too, is like when I was younger, is go take it, and worst case you never use it. Yeah. There's quite a few things that I have that I've never used, but it doesn't matter.
Fun fact though, when you are almost 60, which is a ways off for you, next month for me.
Ooh, party time.
One of your questions, I think, is like, what's surprising in the legislature? I am amazed at how many random experiences and bits of knowledge come back into play that I never thought twice about until I'm sitting in a committee hearing about some topic for a bill. And I think, well, it turns out I do know about that because
of something I did
way back when I did X, Y, or Z. And it's like, wow. So that is fun.
Oh, it's very fun. I mean, that happens to me now. I'm not 60 yet.
No.
But
no.
But it happens to me now where like I'll be sitting and I'll talk to like a business owner or something, and I'll be like, oh yeah, here's the information on that. And they're like, how did you know that? And I was like, oh, I've lived 3 lifetimes already. Just take the information along with it.
The average number of careers for a person, so not just jobs, careers, is 8.
What?
Average number of careers. And I thought, I sit and think about it.
Okay.
I think I'm probably on 9.
I was going to say, I'm pretty damn close to 8. Because I've got horse and dog trainer, music teacher. I managed a coffee shop barista. Business consulting and marketing consulting I'll put into one. The state contracts that I hold now. Back to horses. Yeah, that's a minute. Interesting.
And so I think it's really important for, I'm kind of zeroed in on kids and younger generations, but I want them to understand that it doesn't have to follow a straight path.
No.
And if you're passionate about horses, but you need to pay the bills, okay, then figure out what you can do. Don't abandon that passion, whatever you do. But make sure you've got something in your back pocket that's going to fuel your dream and make sure.
Okay, so for those that don't know,
yes,
you were elected to state legislator 2 years ago.
2024.
That quick. Okay, so 2 years ago, because I got to see your office like right when you were moving in, like just a few months after you moved in. Okay, I actually got to go to the state capitol. See, it is frozen again. This is, hopefully this is coming through okay. I got to go to the state capitol. I don't know why it does this. And then it worries me that it's not actually working, but I know it's working. There, see, it's back. No, it's not. It did this the last time too, and I thought for sure it was because we do have a storm coming in again. Maybe that's our problem.
Today?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Are you there? I don't know. I saw something.
I'm done with storms.
Me too.
Personally. So
I was sitting here. This is a complete side note. I've got an external door for anyone that doesn't know. And I'm sitting here and the storm rolls in yesterday and I watched the sidewalk turn into a river.
Oof.
I mean, it just we literally just jumped. And I went, oh, well, I took a picture and I actually sent it to Mark. If you didn't watch Mark's masterclass, he was the one before this. Anyway, I sent it to Mark and I said, okay, I live here now. Because I wasn't going out in that. There's no way. Mm-mm. But no, so to kind of go back to this, so 2 years ago, I got to go to the state capitol. For the longest time, I had the state seal on my computer because I got to go I don't know how we met people. We just randomly met people after we left your office. We met the photographer guy.
Oh,
he's fantastic.
And he had suddenly passed away.
No, he did not.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's kind of sad. But he was very sweet. He took our pictures.
100% he is.
But then he walked us over to the room where it happens. I don't know. They make copies of stuff and make sure it's ready to get signed. And they let us make state seals.
Secretary of State's office.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. In the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so both Kate and I got to make state seals. And I put mine on my computer. It finally wore out, I don't know, probably 3 months ago. But it was metal, so it lasted a long time. Mm. So if I wasn't typing on it, I think it would have lasted a long time. But anyway, that's the fun fact. So, but before that, you had a business. Obviously, we're talking about the impetus of your business and why did you start your business? It was because these kids were getting left behind. What's the name of your business?
Custom College Solutions.
Okay. So then you were helping juniors, seniors.
Yeah, even 8th graders.
Okay.
The idea being, how can we maximize that 4-year experience in high school? Oh. Because, our local high schools, despite all the hurdles, are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And, if
you can maximize it,
you can maximize and you can come out with college credit and you can come out with great experiences and you can try a variety of activities of your sports or clubs and really dig in. And, my hope was that they would maximize that experience and then again, fill their virtual toolbox or their reservoir. And then whatever adventure they chose post high school, they had what they needed. And it wasn't a case of, oh gosh, I really wish I had taken that extra math class
right. If I would have known.
If I'd have known. And, it was a classic case of parents or guardians or family had said, hey, Joe, you should be taking, I don't need that. And then Joe would come into my office and I'd say, Joe, what do you think about taking X, Y, or Z? Oh, sure, that's a great idea, Ann. Yeah. And Joe's family is sitting there thinking,
we just said that.
Wait, what?
We just said that. That's my favorite too, because I consult with businesses. I say that, and then they'll come back and be like, so I was talking to a consultant, and very specific in whatever I was speaking of, for example, bookkeeping, and they said that I should do this. I said, really? Oh, really?
What a great idea!
That's fun. Huh. Somebody else would have thought of that.
My favorite example is I would encourage all my, soon-to-be seniors to be done with their college essays or their applications of whatever sort, apprentice be done with that, right as September begins.
Right, before school starts.
Because, you get into homecoming or your sports or whatever, you're going to lose your mind and you don't want to do this anymore. Okay, Ann, we can do that. And so I have 2 children. Mm-hmm. And in my entire 15-year career of doing this, I've had 2 people that actually followed that advice. Who do you think they were?
Not your 2 children.
Absolutely
for
not.
Sure.
Nope. Catherine missed it by 1.5 miles. Charlie missed it at least by a 0.5 mile. Not quite as terrible as his sister, but no, complete strangers. They followed my advice. And when I asked them, hey, why did you do that? They're like, because you said so. And I'm like, I love you so much and wish all the best for you.
Right. You just listen to people that have done it before and you'll get a little far. Okay. So you were teaching, and then you started this business.
Yep.
You're doing this business, which is still functioning to this day.
Yes.
Okay. So what was the kind of point where you went, government? Did you get another email? Did your husband troll you again?
Well, so must have been what, 2020, end of 2020, beginning of 2021. When there were various conversations at the national level.
Yeah, those are fun.
And I thought, that's it, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot sit on the sidelines. So I ran for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I surprised lots of people, came out of literally nowhere, made a great run, came really close, but that only counts in horseshoes. So learned a lot. Took a minute, licked my wounds. People are like, "Are you super sad?" I'm like,
what's for me?
Obviously, you don't go into something like that to lose. So not so much sad, but ticked.
Yeah,
right?
A little disappointed.
And learned a lot about the ways of the world and certainly what goes on behind the curtain of politics and so forth. And took care of some things. And then it became clear that there was going to be a vacancy in the 44th. And I thought, okay. And I was approached by people I respect. And they said, would you please consider running for that?
And there you are.
And there we are. And I run for both of those things because in all of my work with students, the teaching level, the business level, my own children, their pals, other families, so on and so forth, those years should be exciting. They're terribly terrifying as well. But they should be exciting. You should feel like you have options. You should feel like
there's something to look forward to. Yeah.
And they weren't feeling it. I don't even know if they are yet. But I thought, heck no, I'm not going to sit by and watch that chaos because they deserve better.
Right.
And the people who are living it deserve better. And a long time ago, my first job was at a public library. And I grew up in the Chicago area, as we have made clear. Correct. And public library was often a refuge for all sorts of folks.
Yep.
Right. And every now and then I'd have a day where it was like, oh, I just
that was a lot.
And I would come home and my dad, I would be muttering under my breath. And my dad was great. I miss him every day. And he would look at me with his blue eyes and he'd look at me and he's like, what is it about public service that you don't understand? It is about service.
Oh.
And only service.
What is it about public service? The words you don't understand.
Yeah.
I like that.
So knock it off. Get yourself together and continue serving. And that stuck with me. I mean, I was 16, so now we all know I'm turned 60, so you can do the math. I'm not going to do that math.
It's only 20 years.
It's been a long time, right? Yes. But that stuck with me because it's not our job, whether you're a teacher or wherever you are in service, not our job to judge. It's our job to help.
Yeah.
Or our job to help, not to judge.
Yeah.
I mean, is it fun to sit in an airport and judge all the people that walk by every now and then?
There's people watching. What is happening?
Did I break it?
I might have. You were plugged in, so you're definitely not dead.
Oh,
that happened.
The computer, not me.
I was also plugged in. I did take a nap before you arrived. What is happening?
I thought about it.
Baby cakes, don't do this to me. You're supposed to be the love of my life. And we're back. Do you need help? I do. You're right. All right. So then. Yeah, all that's still connected. We're just going to go back to this, and then we're going to go back to this. There. Okay, we're here. Why are we acting like this? Okay, see, I was just talking all this good stuff about how much I like this program and blah, 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 blah. And here it's going to do this to me. I don't even know what that was.
Mm.
I literally restarted my computer so it didn't have any RAM going. Okay, maybe I do have a few tabs open. I'm just going to untap it. Couple, 2, 3. See? I was making it pretty. Okay. We're going to assume that recorded all that for the most part, except for that last little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, because it is locally recording, so even if the people watching, hi the people watching, see it says 2. That's a lie. The number is a lie. There's more than 2 out there. So you ran for office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the things because I was approached this last year to run, and I said no because I went, I don't know if I want to do that quite yet, if ever. But and my biggest problem, and maybe this is other ones, is entrepreneurs are used to solving the problem directly.
Oh yeah,
right. Like I'll just go fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go fix it, and then it's done. I don't have to wait for anything. I don't have to I'll just figure it out. So what was your biggest surprise when you stepped into the political world and realized it's not that or something else?
Well, allegedly it is a team sport.
Allegedly. Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. And yet, I would argue you find that I've enjoyed experiences in corporate and nonprofit and a variety of landscapes. So, I think you're going to find a certain amount of similarity, but I'm astonished at how slowly things move.
Mm-hmm.
I am astonished at how conflicting agendas interfere with the speed or progress
in which
of what is, obviously a good idea or a practical move. And while I'm not surprised because it takes a certain amount of chutzpah, ego, whatever, to run for office, so you have a lot of bright, motivated people in the same room. Oh my gosh, come on.
Anytime you'd like to finish that,
let's
idea.
Go. And, I think there are very different motivations for people running for office. Sometimes, you're finding people that, they have one single idea, one agenda. Others
we saw that in Janesville. We did see that in Janesville this last city election. Yeah.
And I am not that way. Because collectively there's a lot more impacting everybody. And if I took the oath to serve not only my district, but every Wisconsinite. And so that means having a much broader perspective. So I think I had an idea about that, but I still am stunned.
It's not quite the same.
Well, and that politics overrides that oath of service.
I can see it.
Not Pollyanna. I mean, it's fine. I'm a big person, but wow. And this was a great example this year. The majority party ended arbitrarily months and months early. So we ended in February when we should have continued the legislative session into May. They heard only 4% of the hundreds and hundreds of bills Democrats brought forward. So lots of bills.
Not a single word.
Not a single word. Didn't even get to committee. The last time Democrats were in majority, sorry for the partisanship, but just some stats. Last time they were in the majority, they heard over 40% of the Republican bills. This session, less than 4%.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And if you disagree with me, cool. Take the vote.
Yeah.
Take the vote. And we'll
say
see
no
what the
anyway.
votes are. Yeah, that's fine.
At least
let's hear it and let's vote on it.
No, that makes sense. So I guess with that, now that you're in there, how does your experience as like a business owner, teacher, whatever you want to use, kind of shape which issues you have to focus on? Because obviously hundreds of bills, you can't focus on hundreds.
No, can't focus on hundreds. I also believe in, we can't print money, even though they're great ideas, right?
I really like that idea, though. Can we figure that out? Can you put that bill forward, please?
But right, wouldn't that be fun? So when I think about, our students and our young people, younger generations, also non-traditional students, people returning to school or trying to build, our entrepreneurs and stuff, what kinds of things do they need? Wouldn't it be amazing if people didn't have to worry about healthcare? That would be, I think, one of the most liberating, economy boosting. Does it take money? Yeah. Does it take rethinking? Absolutely. But we could do this, right? And if you didn't have to think about healthcare, think about how we have people then in the jobs that they belong in. To back to our original point of going where you're loved. Where's that fit? Rather than being in a job that you're hanging on to, or that you're farming, but somebody's got to pick up the health insurance from somewhere. Maybe they always wanted to do whatever they're doing to pick up that health insurance, but maybe not. Maybe it's a strain. But think about like how amazing that would be.
I mean, that's one of the biggest problems. I mean, we as in like the BRP board and myself have talked about it, because that's one of the biggest problems of going full time in a business.
Yes.
Because if you are single or unmarried and maybe just partnered or whatever, you don't have the option of going on your spouse's health insurance. And that's assuming your spouse likes their job and is going to be keeping their job long term. And so because you don't
that their employer can afford
to
the escalating premiums.
Yep. Yeah. So, and that you guys can afford as a family, the extra premiums. And so that has been one of the biggest like deciding factors of the leap. Honest to God, it's not the money to get started. Right. It's not the, oh, I don't have enough clients. It's not the, it's not the, where will I,
you got the idea, you got the whole,
it's can we afford the health insurance? Because I mean, I might be making $60,000 a year here, but it also includes health insurance. So my business needs to be making $100,000 a year, so I could then pay for my own health insurance, or have cash in pocket in case I don't have health insurance. I just need to pay for something.
Then you're, everyone, except for the few, are one health crisis away from a disaster.
Oh yeah,
and. The person that cut me off. I mean, thank you for that, because I mean that life altering. So that drives me. Women still are not paid equally. And then we come back to health.
Don't ask me. I will tell you the price, and the price is the price. But
and then we come back. Back to health care for women, and that somehow I can't make my choices. No. And that my daughter would have less freedom than I had.
Yeah, that's a wild thought.
That's unacceptable. So those experiences, access to, competitive public education, pre-K and on up. As a college teacher, I can tell you the kids that benefited from having some sort of structured pre-K experience versus the kids that didn't. It is that impactful. And why should anybody be denied that opportunity?
To better themselves,
And because, I'll show my true colors. When they all succeed, our communities are lifted.
Correct.
When people have housing, then those teachers and nurses and firefighters and workers are living and participating in our community. Not only are they participating, they are spending in our community. Our community is better for it. When we lose them to their commute, we lose more than their dollars.
Right. I mean, that was a stat I think I put out for BRP right when we first started, is for every dollar that you spend in building a business, right? And not like a super sexy business. This is what we're talking about, like a house cleaner or cleaning business, or, a dog walker or a groomer, or, like a lawn care business, whatever. You get $1.83 back within 5 years. 83 cents in the dollar. That's wild. 83% return or 83% return
So why
on
wouldn't
money in 5 years?
why wouldn't we design public policy and legislation that is going to support and build that, rather than sitting in judgment of the people who find themselves struggling because they didn't have access? And then, there's a certain party that just prefers to sit back and judge that and say, well, you must have made bad decisions. Did you not invest in the stock market at age 3? What were you thinking? And how dare you be sick? How dare you get old? Why do we have to fund those services?
Yes.
Until, it comes back to roost.
Right back in their kitchen. So when a business owner thinks about politics, right? We think a lot about like taxes or,
Sure.
what's required of us to, for our employees.
Permits and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, like the paperwork stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But since you're a state representative, anybody can contact you.
Yep.
Your email is live on the internet for anyone to see.
Yes.
What are some things that like maybe business owners don't think about that they could totally contact their elected officials about, that aren't maybe like taxes and permits?
Well, we have a lot of small businesses. I'm just going to call out like the THC industry, right? Facing
questions,
very big questions regarding both state and federal legislation.
Okay.
And so, they're flagging that, saying, hello, this is going to impact how we go forward if we go forward, right? And so we hear from architectural design firms, hey, there's some legislation coming down in licensing that's really going to impact how we do business, and this isn't practical because this, and this. And then when that bill pops up, I can say,
not practical because of this, and this.
Here, I heard from, so a lot of times, like most humans, you think, it's bugging me, but somebody will take care of it, or someone's probably already thought of it. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And those requests for information, or those flags and saying, hey, we see this coming across. I mean, it's important to figure out like zoning, local ordinances, and permits. I can nudge somebody. I can nag somebody. I have, and I believe in local control. Like, what we're after is giving local municipalities and towns more tools in their toolbox, because they are the experts. They know how to spend their dollars. They know what roads they need to fix. They know how to fund their public safety. Like, let's make sure they have those tools or that funding.
Yep.
But when it comes to taxes, policy, connecting people to maybe federal agencies that can be of more help. Those stats, though, we tell people all the time, please reach out, because it packs a punch when I'm sitting in committee and I can say, that's really super interesting, fellow representative, but I had 17 constituents reach out to me with these concerns. And all of a sudden now, because they see me coming, they know what I'm going to say. But, I bring, I always tease people that I'm driving a Chevy SUV. I'll just take y'all with me to Madison. Like, it's cute that you think you're going to sit here, but we're going to go up and make the case. Sometimes we can help with insurance. Sometimes we can help with workers' issues. We can, always happy to make the call. As a relatively still new legislator, often I'm learning right beside whoever is asking the question.
Yep.
And that's okay.
By the way, I got to experience that firsthand. It's true.
Like, who do you call about this? Let's find out. And the other thing that we have access to, that I've offered to town boards and leaders who are essentially, they're volunteering to lead their township and their community, is we have a legislative research bureau. We have a fiscal research bureau. We have elves, like serious elves. I don't know what they do by day, but I love to try to stump them.
And give me this information, because I know you'll find it somewhere.
And they are nonpartisan.
Yeah.
100% nonpartisan. So they will research that for whichever side of the aisle you find yourself on, or the issue. We love to do that. I mean,
ask the question.
That is service. I mean, that is available to the public.
Awesome. Okay.
So, townships often ask us, can you show us other towns' ordinances for X, Y, or Z? Absolutely, we can.
I was wondering how they find that information.
They'll go check out other states, see what they're doing. What can we steal? What can we borrow? Is it comparable? So and so paid this in this state. It was on their tax assessment. Can we add that? We're looking for more transparency in our property tax bills. There are a lot of communities that do it. So can we copy that? What? And those questions, I always say it's lovely. You've seen The Office. It's a beautiful office.
It is beautiful.
The Capitol is magnificent. I love it. But the energy and the ideas and the inspiration are always in the district. It's stopping to chat with somebody at farmer's market. It's finding out, at farmer's market, what do you think it's going to take to make this a year-round activity?
Okay. So basically, if you've got a question, reach out, and then.
Oh yes, please.
Worst case, they're helpful. Okay, I like it. I will say, so here's our story. Kane, who is our secretary for the Business Readiness Program Board, and myself started a business, I guess 2 years ago now, which I don't know how it's possible. It's been 2 years, but whatever. Specifically wastewater treatment, remediation, very, very nerdy. Kane went nerdy. I went less nerdy. I made the joke, my poop stinks. That's the consumer brand. It's very funny. I think it's hilarious. Kane went super nerdy. Okay. So that being said, we were looking at what can we do here in Wisconsin, right? We have some of the best water resources of any state, right? Arguably. And how can we help protect that and all this stuff, right? So it was actually Kane. I can't even claim this one for myself. Said, I'm going to start reaching out to our representatives and see what they know is coming down the pipeline of these hundreds of bills that are coming through, what grant programs are out there, what, other programs, connection programs are out there, to help not just big like cities, but local municipalities make these changes, right? So he did. He reached out to all of them. We had meeting with one of them. And that one was Anne. So we got to go all the way up to, when I say all the way, the 40 minutes, but anyway, all the way up to the state capitol, go in the state capitol, meet with your assistants, or I don't know what you call those. What do you call those?
Legislative assistants,
right? Talk about what we were looking for, all the stuff, and learn not just what Wisconsin has to offer, but, what are we looking at? You were able to connect us with some people in the DNR. It was awesome. So all that to say, it literally is a question away. That's how I knew Anne before then, but that's how I got connected with Anne. On the business sense, I went to Whitewater, for anyone else that didn't know. So I knew you before then.
No way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You were still teaching. Well, I never took one of your classes, but you were still teaching. Yeah. I have an email in my inbox from you from way back when.
No way.
Yep. And I went, because side note, Kane brought you up and he was like, yeah, she was taught at Whitewater. And I was like, interesting. Why do I know that name? And I still don't know what the email is, but it's in there.
That's
hilarious. Go back and read it.
Well, hopefully it was pleasant.
I think it was because I was really into the Launchpad program and stuff. And so I think we were doing stuff with classes. I can't remember.
Oh, could be.
And you did the Whitewater Innovation Center.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Well, what I will say is I enjoy the learning. So, one of the motivators too was for me to be in this position was not only to share all the random knowledge I have, right, whether people want it or not, but also to keep learning, keep exploring, and be with a bunch of bright, service-minded people who are trying to solve some problems, right? So come to my office, make an appointment, but give me something to go on. So when you all came to visit, I had some idea of why you're coming, which makes for a much more productive conversation.
Correct.
You had prepared materials, which you don't necessarily have to, but sometimes some notes are helpful or a picture.
Notes are helpful if you're not looking
Notes
at.
are helpful
Yeah,
or a picture or something. Contact information is super helpful. Timeline kind of thing, like where are you in your process? And, I learned this from all my years of fundraising, for nonprofits or whatever. Be sure you ask for what it is that you want. Like, don't be rude about it, but like if you need help,
make it clear.
Contacting Social Security, come right out and say it. Don't, when I teach marketing and I teach business writing to people, I talk about make it easy for your audience to do what it is that you're hoping they might do. So is it a callback? Don't leave me a message that says, hey, Rep Row, I have some questions. Call me back at your convenience. I can guarantee you I will not call you back.
Yeah.
But if you say, Rep Row, I'd like to know about ABCD and, hoping to catch a few minutes and So if I miss you, I can say, hey, Jocelyn, here's what I know. Here's what I'll direct you to. I'll send you a text. And then I respect your time. You get what you need and you move on. So what can make it easier? And if we get to meet, what do you want to have happen after that?
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I mean, I'm an over preparer. Here's my thing.
I don't have any notes or anything.
Right. I'm an over preparer from years in business.
Yeah.
If I can have the information at my fingertips, that way when you ask the question, I'm not scrambling going da 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 da. I can just say, this is what it is, right? Like I think it was kind of surprising for pitch night for BRP, which by the way, Anne was at.
It was super fun.
Like people were a little surprised that I did a whole like presentation with numbers and demographics before we got to pitch night. And I was like, well, I want you, the audience, to be able to go out into the world prepared with, there was 8 graduates, there's 22 applicants. So that people can start, word of mouthing it for me, I guess, if that makes sense. But also the more you understand, the better you can talk about something.
And I will also add, it's okay to say you don't know. And it's okay to take notes and say, I will follow up with you. Very often in our office, we'll get the question and I got nothing. And I was an English major, so I'm pretty good at crafting an answer, but I'm like, nope, nothing.
Nothing came from me.
And so, it goes on our list and we get back. And the biggest compliment, there are 2 compliments that always strike me. One is, and we see you everywhere. It's literally my job to be here. And I love it. I mean, it's what we've always done, right? But the other one is when we follow up. I've got some folks in a couple of the townships. They like to zing me with some questions. And I know I'm not going to know all the answers because I just don't. I can't.
Yeah.
And yet I love their faces when we come back to them.
And say, fun facts, we found it.
Here it is. And here are the questions. We took notes and it took us a minute, but it's a pretty quick turnaround typically. And, hey, we made that call and this is what we learned. And they're always like, you asked. So we'll figure it out. No, I will say, and you followed up a couple times about EBD Supply, which is Kane's company. It's a great concept. I mean, we want to see it work. How do we encourage that kind of thinking? Not everybody is going to,
Not everybody. Yeah. Well, and that's something that's
okay.
I try to encourage with our programming as well. Is like, you have to think outside the box. You have to think about who you're going to talk to, why you're talking to them, when you're going to follow up again. And you never know when that person in your back pocket, I mean, I talk to you maybe once every 6 months, if that. And, in my back pocket, here you are. I think you're probably like the 10th episode. Isn't that exciting? I should have counted beforehand. I think you are episode 10. Don't quote me on this. If you're listening to this
10 is
afterward,
a good number.
10 is a good number. And it's all people that are here to help businesses succeed and last longer than the IRS statement of 5 to 7 years.
Yes.
Right? Because that builds our communities.
And understand that if you get feedback, if someone's taking the time to give you feedback, might not always be positive. That's okay. But if they're taking the time, then unless they're a real jerk, which,
happens,
but, we'll avoid those folks. but they're interested in your success.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking the time, and it's the old IBM quote of a complaint is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And complaint or feedback
Yeah.
to improve. It's like, no, because I seriously want you to win. I want you to succeed. And I think when you're open to that, and you're not the type that is just meeting people to accumulate business cards, right? But things do come around.
They do. They for sure do. And our relationship started way before BRP was even a thing, and then here we are. So I think that's kind of cool. So that being said, what is something, and this is more for me because it's all about me if we're not going to be honest, what is something that's happening maybe at a state level right now, or maybe coming down the pipeline, that small business owners in Rock County, southern Wisconsin should be paying attention to? Okay. I know that was one of, this is like, so for those listening, I gave her like 15 questions, and this was like one of the hard hitting ones, because I am nosy.
Okay. Not necessarily limited to Rock County, but definitely affecting Rock County. So, child care bridge payments did not get extended for the expire.
Explain that, because I have 0 children.
So, child care businesses could apply for bridge funding. And that is going away at the end of June.
So bridge funding, for those that are listening that maybe don't know much about, a lot of times you have an invoice out, or your accounts receivable is a certain number, and you can go to a bank or apparently the state and say, hey, this money is coming. This not coming right this second though, so I really need this money now.
Yep, and
you fill in, it bridges the gap until you get this money, and then you pay whoever you borrowed it from.
Child care providers will tell you, first of all, there is an absolute shortage of,
oh my gosh,
of quality licensed folks to work in child care centers. And oddly enough, they expect to be paid.
Weird.
I know.
They have bills too? What? How's that possible?
I mean, come on, right? Yeah. And parents are strapped. Families are strapped. So you can't just automatically raise your rates and then cover it that way. That's not going to work. And we have a shortage.
Yeah.
And if people do not have access to quality childcare, and if I hear one more time from the other side, well, you just drop them off somewhere, and it's like, I'm sorry, was that done to you as a child?
Right.
Because that would explain a lot. No, you don't just
drop them off somewhere.
God. And these days, if there are grandparents and so forth, typically they're still working as well, because they have healthcare needs and costs that they're trying to cover.
Bills that are going up.
So it is this vicious circle. And so in, gabbling out in February, we didn't take care of that. So that's a problem. Shared revenue. My bill, my passion. Shared revenue is what states pick up as a portion of their state sales tax.
Okay.
And it's distributed allegedly in a formula. The formula was frozen pre-GM days.
Oh, Lordy, that's been a minute.
GM closure days, I should say.
That's what? How long has it been since GM closed? Over a decade.
Yeah. 2008.
Okay. Oh, that's like almost 2 decades. Oh, shit. Okay. Yep.
So no matter what, Janesville, respectively, is in a hole.
Yeah.
That we will never dig out of unless something shifts. And no one wants to do the hard work of adjusting the formula, because we'd have to study it. And when I suggested that, because they asked for suggestions for study committees this summer, oddly enough, it was rejected. Wow, shocking. Anyway, yet now more people are finding themselves in redder districts, and they have a revenue problem. And I'm like,
because nobody wants to do nobody wants to read it.
Amazing.
Which, in all honesty, if it's 50 plus pages, I don't want to read it either. But I would.
By the same token, our state disaster and emergency funding is terrible, and people are just starting to realize this. Even though Rock County has one of the best emergency management directors in the state. who has been ringing the bell saying, we have a problem, we have a problem, we have a problem for years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this, and they're like, we have a problem.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, statewide too. It turns out flooding and tornadoes don't really care who you voted for.
Yeah, where you sit in the state, and they'll just get you. Yep.
So that is very worrisome. Worker protections statewide and countywide. A ton of housing legislation was all teed up.
Did not go through.
Died. Didn't get a hearing. Bills to allow for retired public safety and employees and teachers retired to return in some capacity. That's stalled. They're all fine for public safety, which, sheriff's departments have been talking to us, fire and EMS have been talking to us, like if they could bring back some retirees at some level and free up some other time, it would be great. And so we said, well, if you're going to do that, let's add teachers to that.
Because subs to subs.
No. Okay. Data center, and all I'll say is, we had a phenomenal bill with stakeholders that never find themselves in the same room. So conservationists, utilities, manufacturers, municipalities, everybody in the same room. They all thought our bill was great. Did our bill get a hearing?
No.
And at the hearing for the dumb version of the bill, I asked why that bill didn't get a hearing. We don't like it. Okay. I said, would you like to just take the things out of our bill that you like and put your name on it?
Right. Make it easy.
Doesn't matter. No, we can't do that.
Interesting.
So we ended the session without doing the very one thing
that we probably should have.
Everybody in the state wanted.
Because data centers. So for those listening, if you are not
Excuse me.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'd be choking on air. Data centers in southern Wisconsin have become a pretty hot button issue. I live in Beloit, Wisconsin, which is right at the border of Wisconsin to Illinois. Literally, I'm 3 roads away from Illinois. And we got surprised with a data center. Surprise, out the blue. Some people don't understand how an NDA works. Like, no, you can't talk about an NDA if you sign an NDA. That's how that works. So they were a little miffed about the NDA thing. I was like, well, it is what it is. And then here in Janesville, which is where we are in the Janesville Innovation Center, my office, they also are talking about a data center.
In the blighted GM site.
In the blighted. Can't do jack shit on that site, according to the DNR.
Which was deliberate on GM's part.
Oh, yeah.
So they ducked their responsibility by only pausing the plant. And after they were off the hook, then they closed it. And they didn't have to clean it up.
Yep. So now Janesville is stuck with this giant chunk of property in the middle of Janesville, the city of, and now we have to try to figure out what we're going to do with it. But anyway, so it's a really big hot button issue just because here, I mean, most of your constituents have to deal with 2 of them, and then the rest of the state is dealing with, I mean, there's probably 5 or 6 that just went in this year, and there's quite a few more that are
GM would be the only brownfield candidate. So it makes it a bit unique in the state landscape. But they're not easy questions, and those are not easy topics.
Well, and it's not like they've been around for so long with so much information that it's an easy and to find the answer.
Because our funding is so cockeyed, and townships, municipalities are finding themselves underwater with looming sort of referenda for operating a municipality on top of the public education referenda, right? Some of the offers of money are pretty dang alluring.
It is. I mean, they're talking about multiple billions of dollars in Janesville.
I find it predatory.
Yeah. Yep.
So, how our responsibility as a state and what municipalities and towns were begging us for was, could you help us set up some guardrails? Could you help us set up what we should be requiring, a baseline so that
so we don't get tricked into saying things.
Communities are protected, and municipalities and townships can refer back to the state and say, the state demands X, Y, or Z. Can you please help us with this?
Interesting.
Please.
Okay.
And we didn't
No, we did not.
We-
That would make too much sense, though.
They literally went
This
on
is why I
vacation.
didn't run for office. I'm just like,
They went on vacation in February.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
some things we should be looking at.
That's some things that are going to affect how our economies grow and develop.
I will say, and I'm putting this out there because anybody that watches these master classes always gets little tidbits of like what I'm planning and why I'm planning it. One of the master classes in the future, nearish future, I want to do on what can small business owners do to prep for data centers, because data centers don't usually have internal employees. They have 1 or 2, maybe 5 internal employees. The rest of it is contracts out to local companies that have to clean them, secure them, manage them, do all the things. So how, as business owners, can we prep for those contracts, and what contracts could be open? So,
so it's sort of a SWOT analysis in terms of opportunities and threats.
Right.
Sure.
Because and this is for anybody, if you know the data center is coming, right? Like there's nothing you can do about it, right? It's past, it's coming in, whatever. If you know the data centers, how do you prep yourself and your business to make the best of the situation? Because one of the biggest arguments is they don't hire people. Well, they do. It's just not on a W-2. It's a contract. And, somebody still has to go in and sweep the data center once a week.
Yeah.
It still has to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody has to go in and test that water. Somebody has to go make sure all the light bulbs are light bulbing.
Absolutely.
All these things. And so just as a spoiler alert, if you are listening, that is coming, and we're gonna talk about it.
Well, I think one of your questions, maybe I'm preempting you.
No, go for it.
But is, what are key, what do we do specifically that would help small businesses?
Yeah.
Right. And so I thought that was a brilliant question.
Right, because we always talk about.
Here's the thing about this.
We always talk about the constituent, the individual person, or the family, and yes, that's all important. But in my assumption, the small business. And when I say small, I mean they have less than 10 employees. They're small. They if they have a bad month, it really ruins a good chunk of people's lives.
December for retail was a disaster this past year. The weather was stupid.
Horrible,
and you have no control. So I don't control weather yet.
She's working on it.
I'm working on it.
She's working on it.
Heck yes. So I like to think of it in terms of what are the key ingredients that small businesses need to thrive in a given community, right? So infrastructure, which would include roads.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to.
Public safety, so fire, EMS, whatever, K through 12 public ed, because that's going to create an audience for you, whatever it is. You need childcare, for your one employee, to yourself, whoever. Childcare providers need childcare. So healthcare, yourself, your workers, right? So, how do we help? And a thriving environment with a supportive local government. So what does a local government where you're looking to locate, are they good fiscally? How is their bond rating?
That's a really good question.
What are they looking at? Are they developing how can the state assist or make sure that those communities are moving? Because you want to move into
something
community
that's growing. Yeah,
it's growing. What is the turnover at the school district or in the city, or how does that picture look? Those are things that you can't necessarily control, but when you're building your business plan, you're going to need to accommodate and take a look. What is the spending per capita?
And that's something that the elves could help with too. They know that stuff.
Hell yes. Heck yes.
Oh, I'd be swearing.
We have lots of stats.
Okay.
And you can get demographic data, and you can take a look and then adapt. It's that whole theme of know your audience. Like if you're coming in with a high-end restaurant, cool. Okay.
Yep.
Know your audience.
How many people can afford that?
And don't be, watching downtown Janesville develop has been a joy.
It's amazing.
Because they finally got over their worry and they finally embrace safety in numbers. It's not so much safety, but when you give consumers, whether it's for financial services, insurance, retail, food, whatever it's going to be, when they have choices, it's back to the same thing. Do you see this? When they have choices, they're going to stay put. They might not come to your restaurant every night, but chances are you're on the circuit.
They'll circle back. Yeah.
They're on the circuit. And when your hours are reliable and your menu or your services are consistent and somebody is answering the phone consistently and things, you build that reliability and it is infectious.
Yep. Yes. And you perfectly segued. I'm 99% sure. I'll have to consult with Anna in my calendar. But Elena from downtown Janesville is our next guest. So
shush, I thought she already went. I was no, she would be tough to follow.
She didn't, and it was all my fault.
What?
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, I can't just stick with one business. And so I bought a rental property.
As one does.
Hashtag Krusty House Saga, if you want to follow it.
That's the Krusty House.
That's Krusty House. She's been a rental property for the last 30 years, owned by the same people. This is some things that I didn't know until I knew, and this is using my local city of Beloit people, not my state representative. So I get the house. I'm gonna tell you the story because I might as well. Get the house, have the keys. I'm like, okay. We're gonna gut it because it's crusted, disgusting, and find out it has mice and roaches, which in the state of Wisconsin you are required by law to tell whoever is buying your house that it is infested with an infestation. Did not know. I didn't know this. This is my 7th house. I never knew that. I never bought a crusty house before, but I did not know this. Fun facts. There are remedies. You can go back and you can make them pay for everything to get your whatever. I don't care that much. It's fine. Literally, the house had to sit for 30 days so the exterminator guy can exterminate.
Fumigate.
Do the stuff. Thankfully, I ever saw one live roach, so we're good. But one live roach was too many roaches for me. Anyway, in that time, I get a letter from the city. You're in violation. And I was like, I beg your I've had the keys to this house for 3 weeks. I waited because, you catch more information with honey than you do with vinegar because I was salty.
Take a moment.
Right. I had to wait a couple days. So I called her and I said, hey, I just took over this house. Girl, I'm trying. But I thought I was going to be done with this house in 45 days. It's looking more like 90 because I have to wait. And I start telling her this whole story and super friendly, super helpful. Very okay, well, this is what we can do to do this, and this is what you can do to do this, and I can keep help extending some of these deadlines because you can't put windows in 3 weeks kind of thing, and so she's very, very helpful. Anyway, so I tell all that because I've been focusing on said rental property because I'd really like to get it off of my bill and onto its own bill. And in that process, Elena was supposed to come into the office. That day, I was power washing the house, and I accidentally pulled off some chunks of siding off the house. Oops. In the process of pulling things on and off the house and cleaning it up. And so I messaged her, and I was like, girl, and I took a picture of myself, actually. I was disgusting head to toe. And I said, I cannot. So we rescheduled. Which I think might be in our favor because we have some downtown Janesville stuff coming up with BRP that hopefully we can announce during.
Okay, then I need to tune in.
Yeah, so I tell you all that.
There we go.
Now for everyone listening, they know a little bit of my life story and how I am a serial entrepreneur, and I can't just sit still for once.
Elena is phenomenal.
But Elena is coming.
I've learned a lot from her. I love that board.
Yes.
I love downtown Janesville. I've
really
learned
good.
a lot from that group.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say back to switching the focus back to me.
Yes, it's all about Anne.
No, but
it's true.
Watching how that board works and Elena and those challenges, that just adds fuel to why I want to be in the legislature. I'm not going to do it forever. I am running for a second term.
Yep. I think I saw
because the learning curve is like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like,
it's getting better.
I get lost less frequently in the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth floor is still
oh yeah,
a maze.
I'm so glad you came and got us because we would never have found your office ever. And actually leaving, we had an argument on which way we were supposed to turn.
Sure.
I was like, no, we came right. He was like, no, I don't think we did. We did find our way.
Thank God.
Thank God. Otherwise, we'd still be there.
Well, so I love it from
Mm-hmm.
that standpoint, and I am hopeful that now that I understand sort of the pace and the rhythm of it, I'm ready to disrupt that rhythm just a little bit and push it a little harder.
Yeah.
And, use that superpower of mine, which my kids would tell you is to nag.
You know what? We love
Charlie, when I opened my business for students, he was still pretty young. And he looks at me, he's like, so let me get this straight, Mom. People are going to give you some money so you can nag them?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's insane. Why would... He's like, you nag
He's like, I experience this every day. I would never pay
all
for it.
the time. I would not pay for this experience.
Yeah.
Was hilarious.
I would have probably peed my pants laughing at him. Not even lying to you. It would have been.
Yeah.
That's something my nephew
Catherine
would say to me.
Did not listen to a word I gave her regarding her college search. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, this was a pleasant experience that no one ever
wanted. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when she applied for law school, she's like, well, I would like some help. And I'm like,
oh, really?
So will you be listening to me this time? Because if not, I'm out. Like,
right. I don't want
I have enough stress. You'll be fine. No.
This time I want help, Mom.
This time I'll listen. Okay. All right. Cool. Right. Same with Charlie, but he had the benefit of listening to those discussions. So he's like, whatever you say, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
in. Make it easier.
Yeah, please.
That's quite the boy, though. That's quite the boy. I mean, my brother was that way too. He was like, I saw what you had to go through. I ain't doing it like that.
Well, there is, I'm the youngest of 5. I have 4 older brothers. I definitely benefited from watching them.
Mm-hmm. And I'm the oldest of the oldest. So I'm the oldest cousin and the oldest of my family.
I'm
so
sorry for you.
It always is a joke.
You have to blaze a trail.
It always is a joke. Jocelyn did it first, right? Jocelyn went to college first. Jocelyn went to high school first. Jocelyn got divorced first. Jocelyn got married first. I do it all first, and then they don't have to do it.
Take the pressure off.
Right. That was me. That's me. I'm that cousin. You're welcome to anybody watching. So for just to kind of end this out, so everybody kind of knows what our next, like what we can do. If somebody is listening to this podcast, they're like, "Oh, Anne seems nice," and they're thinking, "I've never reached out to a representative before." Which, side note, it's not scary. They're still people, but they want to. They're like, "Okay, I want to reach out to you." What is the single most important thing you'd want them to know before they pick up the phone or they write you that email, so that you can help them the best?
Use the subject line in the email.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Just a pro tip.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some idea what
I'm opening here.
What I'm opening and what you're thinking about. And what is your question? And if there is some background, you don't have to tell me everything. But some background, let me know. Email is usually preferred because then we can kind of organize it and give me good contact information. If that's the way you prefer to be contacted. If you're at work and you don't want somebody calling you at work or whatever, then let me know. We'll respond via email. We will respond the way
you would like,
you prefer.
Okay.
And if you'd like to set up an appointment, you figure you're going to get 20 to 30 minutes typically. And so, what is it?
Or if you're lucky like me, you'll get an hour.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I got an hour on your calendar for this. Okay, so I like that. Yeah, and subject lines, I guess I never even thought about that. I grew up.
It's amazing how many people forget to use them.
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess.
And then just, it'll get bounced or it just.
It looks like spammy.
And then I don't know how to help you the best. It's back to that voicemail. If you leave a voicemail, let me know. Just generally what the topic is. You don't have to.
Okay.
But then we can make best use of people's time.
I like that. So Nonetheless, reach out, ask the question.
Always.
Worst case, she'll have to send you to somebody else that knows it better. Or
well, we had a question the other day regarding package. There was some goofiness between UPS and USPS.
Yeah.
And small businesses were getting hammered, and then their mail was embargoed. Like they couldn't access it, and then it was viewed as contraband. I mean, it was insane.
That's a wild story. Yeah.
Now, I could do nothing because it's a federal thing. But I reached out to our senator's office, Tammy Baldwin. Her staff is amazing. They followed up 3 times. And it turns out that our call had been like the 70th call they'd gotten that week. And they're like, all right, enough.
Fix it.
Yes. And she did. And then followed up with our person. And my person, here in Janesville was like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever.
It was so worth it.
And thank you so much. And it's like, I literally forwarded, like, but we could do it.
I will say Tammy Baldwin's team is amazing. Her team has been here in the Innovation Center to learn about the businesses multiple times since I've taken this contract. Very cool.
She shows up and she gets stuff done.
Yeah. We like that. Girl power.
Good
girl
role
power.
model. Okay. Showing up is everything.
All right. And then kind of switching because, also because it's all about me. If there's small business owners or business owners in general out there listening that are thinking things about running for office, what would you want them to know or hear about the process?
Always good to reach out to, electeds that you like. Remember, there are all sorts of levels. I also push back on people who say, well, you need to get elected this first and then move up. No. Go where you're loved, where you're feeling the passion, but do your homework.
Fair.
So talk to people in office, talk to people, at whatever levels. And if you take a peek at that and you look under the hood and you look at that and you think, never, can't run. All sorts of other ways to help. There are committees. The cities have committees. Townships have committees. You can be on the Planning and Zoning Commission for the town of X, Y, or Z.
Yep.
So you don't have to take on
a big giant responsibility.
No, you don't. But if you feel that call, and I've talked to many people who have, and they've explored, they've marched down the road and then said, excuse me, maybe not now, but maybe I'll pivot into this.
Yeah. Please
do, because we're better for more conversation. Do I talk to a lot of people that I don't agree with? All damn day, every day. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's really okay. If you come in with respect and you're going to listen, you're still going to stick to your priorities and your ethics, we can still get it done. My game with myself is figuring out, what does a win look like for Jocelyn?
It's fair.
And how can we meet somewhere in the middle and get that win? Because I'd like to take a win home too, by the way.
Okay. I like it. And I will say small business owners, because we have such flexible schedules usually, are really good to get involved like that, because we're able to make that 2:00 meeting, or we're able to go do whatever. We're able to go see something that maybe somebody that's working a classic 9-to-5 or something that is just not able to do.
Well, and I think there's some important connections that can be made. And, I do respect small business owners enormously, because it's exhausting to run the business, advocate for yourself, and then also provide.
Correct. Yeah. No, I don't disagree. Yeah, the providing part gets scary.
It's like asking the patient to, heal themselves. Well, I would if I had time. I'm busy doing these other things.
I said the same thing earlier. I had a meeting earlier, and I was like, we're going through a rebrand, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cobbler's child gets the shoes last. It's so true, though. It's so true. So, well, thank you so much for coming.
What a pleasure.
It's so much fun.
Are we solving world hunger?
I think we are. I think
next
we solved
time
every single problem that we have facing humanity currently.
Okay, I'm in.
If people would like to contact you, I know I said your email's everywhere, but do you want to say the best way to contact you out loud for those listening?
Absolutely. So rep.row It's beautiful to have a short name.
Yeah.
So rep.roe, ROE, at legis, LEGIS, .wisconsin.gov.
Okay.
I think that's the whole, yeah.
Yep. And if you're listening and you're like, yeah, I did not get that. One, you could Google her. Her name is Ann Rowe. It couldn't get literally any simpler.
Okay, funny story. When you drop off your nomination signatures,
yeah,
you have to spell your name phonetically.
Oh.
And so I laughed, and the person accepting signatures did not laugh. And I thought, oh. I said, well, she said, well, what is your name? And I said, Ann Rowe. And she's like, well, you still have to spell it phonetically. Put A-N long. R-O with a long.
What else am I supposed to do? No, I would have been laughing. But this is how I know I can't be in some of those office jobs, because I would be giggling. I would have been giggling.
I do think, I mean, I was very polite, and I do think that there was a slight upturn of.
She's like, I need to keep my professional bearing here.
And she was excellent. She's doing a great job. So no criticism, but I'm funny. Like, that is hilarious.
No,
actually.
it is objectively hilarious.
Yeah, so yes. Ann Rowe, 6 letters.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening.
I hope I can come again.
Yes. We're going to do this. I think she's episode number 10. In the comments, let me know if I'm wrong.